Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Poets and Quants online MBA event. And a big thank you to our panel for being here. I'm your host, Anna Watson with Poets and Quants. And today we have a great list of questions on the application and admission process. Before we get started, let's meet our guests. If each of you could please introduce yourself, the school you represent, and your role, and also a fun fact about you. And JR, let's go ahead and get started with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So my name is J.R. McGrath. I'm the Executive Director of Master's Admissions here at the Tepper School of Business at Carnegie Mellon University. And today, very sunny Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So obviously I represent Carnegie Mellon University. A little bit about myself. So I have been working at colleges for about 20 years, undergrad degrees in physics, my grad degrees in college administration. And I've done a wide variety of things. I've run major events for universities, run leadership institutes for universities, as well as spent the last 12 years within graduate management education in varying roles, whether it's running admissions departments, creating new programs, or advising students to navigate the program and make the most out of their experience. A little bit, I guess, about a fun fact. I guess I'll go back to maybe some of my event planning days. So one that I'll bring out would be when I plan major events. My first large show was with Kanye West whenever he was first coming up back in 2006. We were his largest show to date. And at that time, there was a little thing that people would try to do is like let the crowd wait for someone to come on campus. That had happened to us the year before. We put a clause in the contract, so I actually had to get into a little bit of a verbal altercation with Kanye. End up winning because at the time his mother was his agent and pretty much had to tell him, like, if you don't get on stage, I'm going to have to call your mother and dock your paycheck. So something you don't always get to say to other people, but was kind of a fun time in my career.
Excellent, JR. Thank you for sharing and thank you for being here. Marcus, let's go to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marcus Phillips, Associate Director for Gies Online Programs, Recruitment and Admissions. So I primarily work on the recruitment side at the top of the funnel. So I enjoy just engaging with vendors, enjoy engaging with students, of course, my colleagues as well. I worked for 9 years in undergraduate admissions prior to my current role at the Gies College of Business at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Oh gosh, a fun fact about me, I have to go back probably 15 years ago. I was like a breakdance champion in my neighborhood. So I had the breakdance pants and, and all of that. So yeah, back in the day.
That's so cool. Thanks, Marcus. And Julia, on to you.
Everyone, I'm Julia Ailes. I'm a Senior Associate Director here in Kelley Direct, our online MBA here at the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University in beautiful Bloomington, Indiana. My professional experience is largely actually working in housing and residence life with undergraduate students, but a lot of that work was doing recruitment and hiring, hence the transition to working in admissions and recruiting students. And so very excited to be here today to represent the Kelley School of Business. I have 2 degrees from IU, so I'm a very proud IU alum and spent, I think, 10 years as a student here as one of those is a doctoral degree. So I have a fondness for IU and Bloomington. Live here with my husband who also works in the Kelley School, and we have a 3-year-old daughter as well. Fun fact about me. From my housing and residence life days, one of my fun facts is that back in 2012, I worked at another university in Indianapolis, and we were hosting the Super Bowl, and Jimmy Fallon did his pre-show sort of video in my residence hall. So basically all day I was sort of like the security guard for his dressing room, which actually was just our computer lab in our building. So that was like a cool experience that I got to have way back when.
Secret Service for Jimmy Fallon. I love it. Now it'd be great to have some general information about each of your schools, including its mission, values, and reputation. Julia, let's start with you.
Sure. So I work here in Bloomington at the Kelley School of Business. We have a large business school. In our undergraduate program, we are about 40% of our students on campus. In the graduate programs, we have quite a few different offerings here. Kelley Direct is a large program. We have about 1,500 students in our online MBA. I think we might be the biggest online MBA out there as well. We're proudly ranked at number 1 across all 3 ranking bodies right now. We're really proud of that. We're also want to dig into really what that means and sort of thinking about, what we try to put out there is that you're learning from the best with the best. So we have over 125 full-time faculty within Kelley. We have the largest living global alumni network of any business school with the Kelley School of Business. And so folks are really making those connections and learning sort of in real time to build that career momentum that they're looking for when pursuing their MBA.
Thanks, Julia. And just a quick follow-up, how long has your program gone on for?
Yeah, Kelley Directed, the original online MBA was founded in 1999. So we're excited to be sort of the industry leader and innovator in using technology and for business education.
Thanks for that. And let's hear from Marcus next.
Yes. So for more than 100 years, Gies Business has intentionally designed its innovative programs, leading edge curriculum, and experiential learning opportunities to empower and prepare students to turn big ideas into meaningful actions. Our purpose is to shape purposeful leaders through life-changing access to education, research, and innovation. Everything we do is for purpose, right? That is why we were named the Poets and Quants 2022 Best Online MBA Program of the Year. We demonstrate a commitment to this purpose. Our students demonstrate a commitment to this purpose, as well as our alumni. We believe our why at the college has grown stronger from a generous donation from Larry Gies to the college is named after. So first, we are further expanding a curriculum dedicated to finding and exploring innovation in business. And second, we can now provide even greater access to life-changing business education. And then third, we are hiring more faculty and installing the resources needed to inspire the next generation of business leaders. We have over 6,000 students on our three online programs. So our online population is actually larger than our residential population. And we currently have about 4,500 online learners in our MBA program and about 3,000 alumni in the program as well.
Thanks, Marcus. And I might add, I'm from this area, and my sister was thinking about getting her MBA and was looking into your program, specifically the online program. So just wanted to add that personal touch. But yeah, thank you. Let's hear next from JR.
Awesome. Thank you all. It's always fun to hear about other programs as well. So here at the Tepper School, I would say the kind of our guiding light right now is really the intersection of business, technology, and leadership. We really kind of look at it in two ways of being data informed. So being able to look at business problems, use data to inform those solutions. And then the human driven part is really giving you those leadership and communication skills to be able to make those solutions powerful and have other people understand and believe in them and aspire to them. So another thing that we are working on here as everyone is making sure that our student communities are diverse and inclusive and making sure others belong. I know that sometimes we'll call that, a little bit more difficult in that online environment rather than being in person, and just being very intentional about that. And that's why for our program in particular, we have something called Access Weekend. So we consistently ask you to be together with your classmates. And that happens about every 8 weeks in the program. So happy to kind of chat through more details of that later, but excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks, JR. And now we'll kind of move on to a question that's very much about the program, but now more of the in-depth details. And there's a couple questions here, so take as long as you'd like. But this question revolves around how long does it take to complete the program generally? How long has your program been around? What level of flexibility is offered in pacing, class selection? How many required courses versus mandatory courses are in your program? And then finally, is the content asynchronous or synchronous? And JR, let's go right back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. So we actually just as others on the call, right? Like sometimes there are multiple formats for online programs. So there's really two online programs that we have. We have our online hybrid MBA program. That one takes 33 months, so it is about 2.5 years. And then we also have an accelerated version of that program that takes just the 2 years. And that's for those that already have coursework in 5 business areas. It's on our website, but I'll say them quickly: accounting, finance, macroeconomics, marketing, and operations. So we have a few different options for you in terms of the length of the program. We do have one entry per year, so our program is very much in a cohort based, and that's I would say what works best. However, anyone that needs that additional flexibility typically takes more of a pause for a semester, or we actually have minis, so we have 2 sets of classes per semester for you to be able to take that pause if you need it, and then start the program back up when makes the most sense for you. In terms of the other part, in terms of curriculum flexibility, so the easiest way to explain it without looking at a kind of like a flow chart here would be about the first half is more of that mandatory core classes that really give you that business acumen foundation that you'll need to then be able to start applying those business concepts into those elective and engaged learning courses. And then the second half of the program would all be around those electives and capstone. We have multiple capstone options for you, whether that is working in one of our tracks, which then it would be a tailored capstone for what you are trying to specialize in. Our normal management game, which is a really cool simulation of you running your own company live against all of your classmates that are running their own companies, as well as some other engaged learning opportunities. And I'm looking through here to see if the synchronous and asynchronous. So we do have live class twice a week as you're going through those mandatory core classes. There is some asynchronous material that you will be able to go kind of at your own pace to supplement that. And what's always interesting, and I love this way of learning, because a lot of times our professors, because we have the same set of professors that teach all of our MBA programs, there's not a different set. They will a lot of times say, wow, these professional or these online MBAs are really smart, they're engaged. And I think it's because of that asynchronous material that you get, that you prepare for that class, so you come in a little bit more ready than if those class sessions were just longer. When you're live with everyone, it's that engagement time, it's that application time. So you'll have that twice a week, and then you will have some class sessions during those access weekends. So you'll be able to meet your professors live. That usually sets up those classes. So really being able for you to kind of get that good foundation and then move through that class in that remote fashion. Anna, did I miss anything that you're hoping I'd hit on?
I don't think so, unless you did say this and I missed it. How long generally does it take to get through your program?
Sure. So I'll recap that again. So the normal online hybrid program is 2.5 years to 33 months. And then we do have an accelerated version that is just 24 months.
Thank you, JR. Let's hear from Marcus.
Yes, so our IMBA program actually started in 2016 with about 140 plus students, and now it's approximately 4,500 students. So definitely scaled over the last several years, and of course the pandemic had a lot to do with that. But our mission is to democratize education. So we wanted to make sure that we are offering a high quality, affordable, and accessible education to who all desire it and who are committed to pursuing it. And so this program was designed to be online. So we just didn't convert it from a residential to an online program. And in fact, we suspended our residential MBA program. And so we can put all of our resources into the online online program. And so we designed it from like the very beginning. So we looked at pretty much every facet of the program, from like course length to number of course offerings, whether it's synchronous or asynchronous, content type or duration. We also looked at the technology for delivery and engagement. And then we looked at the technology to engage faculty to make sure that they're delivering the content in an intentional way. And so we wanted to make sure that this program was going to allow our students to be engaged, also our faculty to be engaged. And so we wanted to make sure that we took the steps necessary to make sure it's a high quality program, but at the price point, it's a little bit under $24,000 at the price point. Because again, we're big believers in accessibility. And so we wanted to make sure that we can make this as accessible as possible to as many people as possible as well. The program takes about 2 to 3 years to complete. It's 100% online. There's no residency requirement for our program, and there's 4 intake dates. And so students can start the program in January, March, August, or October. So we add that flexibility there as well. The program in itself is 72 credit hours. The courses are 4 credit hours each, and the courses are arranged into like specializations. And classes include a combination of synchronous and asynchronous learning. So we do offer weekly live lectures and 3 times a week. Even within those live classes, there's typically breakout sessions in Zoom rooms. So it allows our students to actually work together on group projects or a challenging question that's been presented by that faculty member during the live session. And so the neat thing about our program as well is the content is relevant. And so students can take that content and make sure that the ROI is delivered immediately. So taking this theory and putting it in practice, taking the theory one day and the next day at the job, just putting it into practice. And so a lot of our students see that immediate return on investment from their classes. And so all students complete a series of 4 core specializations. Strategic leadership and management is 1. Managerial economics and business is 2. Financial management is 3. And value chain management is number 4. So those core areas of business that all our students are required to take. And then students choose 2 specializations, or they can choose 1 specialization and an elective path as well. So again, that flexibility is very critical for us because we understand that we have a ton of students from all over the world with different experiences, different backgrounds, and different needs. And so we want to make it as flexible as possible to meet the students where they are. And so within those specializations, there are capstones that are required as well. And then at the end of the program, there's a program capstone that is required. So we're making sure they get the theory, but they put that theory into practice. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. Thanks, Marcus. I do have one follow-up. You mentioned the applicability in the workplace. Just a note here for viewers, do the students that apply to Illinois have to be working to do the online MBA?
Not necessarily. However, students are required to have at least 3 to 4 years of full-time professional experience as part of the requirement for the program. But majority of our students are working professionals.
Okay, great. Makes sense. And let's hear from Julia.
Thank you. So for our program, we the average completion time is 2 years, but folks do have up to 4 years to complete. We have many similar elements, I think, to my colleagues in terms of how our curriculum is structured. But one of the things I think that we try to emphasize is that, we're an online MBA that perhaps doesn't feel like one because folks really do want the flexibility to, pursue their MBA from wherever they are, not have to quit their full-time job, but also being in an environment like the Kelley School of Business where they're learning from the same faculty that are teaching in our in-residence program and networking with a really amazing group of students doing really cool things all around the world. So our curriculum is a balance of what we call our signature core sequences. So the core, there's 3 of them, are 3 2-credit classes that you take. You start with core 1, and then core 2 kind of is in the middle, and then core 3 is at the end. And those are integrated classes that can't be broken up. So that's where the curriculum perhaps isn't as flexible. But around the core, you can sort of speed up or slow down the curriculum to kind of meet your own needs, balancing both personal and work commitments as well. And in terms of our required experience as well, one of the things we think sets us apart is our in-person experiences. So we have what we call Kelley on campus, which is something that you do in your first year, which is an intensive case competition here in lovely Bloomington, Indiana, that kind of kicks off your experience. And then in your second year, we try to deepen those connections through what we call Kelley on Location, which we're hosting at a major US city with some sort of theme. So last fall, we did something in Chicago. The theme was art and architecture and design. Up in this fall, we're going to go to Milwaukee, and the theme is the business of fun. We're excited about that opportunity. And so those, again, hope to kind of deepen the networking that will come in class. And then complementing those, there's students have over 50% of the courses are electives. And some of the favorites also include, we offer global and domestic immersions as part of our curriculum. Last summer, I had the pleasure to travel to Ireland with a group of students for a course that was about high-performing organizations. So we visited businesses to learn a little bit about culture and strategy. And even though I am not an MBA student, it was really cool to visit places like Google and Meta, but also visit their Gaelic football stadium, learn about business development in Dublin, and really get a sense of also just what business is like abroad. So that's one thing that we really think is exciting about Kelley, and our students really seem to love as part of our curriculum, is getting to deepen those connections outside of their live classes. And typically, if folks are pursuing a full load, which for us is usually 6 credits, 2 classes except for the core, they're having live synchronous classes 2 times a week, sometime between 6 and 9 p.m. Eastern time. There is some asynchronous content, and similar to what JR said, that when you're in class, it's really meant to be as interactive as possible, right? So you're there for a reason, right? Live with your peers. And if you can do stuff on your own, then faculty are going to have you do that on your own. So yeah, that's a little bit about our curriculum.
Thanks, Julia. And now we're going to talk kind of more about your program, actually. What are the key factors that make your MBA program different? For example, do you offer any unique courses? And I know you guys have touched on courses, but if you also want to talk about whether your program has any particular concentrations, feel free to do so. JR.
Awesome. Thank you. So I guess I'll start with differentiators a little bit, and maybe I quickly highlighted a few earlier, but so for us, and I think that this is like every school needs to make those choices of what are the things that they value as they put their program together. So we're not a really large online program, like you've heard the numbers, for Indiana and Illinois, and that is absolutely amazing. We've chosen to be a program that usually brings in about 100, 120 students, each year. We have 1 intake a year. And we do that in particular to make sure that our MBA program is considered the same across all the different modalities that we offered in, whether it's the residential 2-year, whether it's the online MBA. It is the same professors. We don't have another set of professors that only teach in one format. We have the same career staff that does all of our corporate outreach. So those that are day-to-day working with students that are going to any of those different companies that everyone has on their lamp list, those are the same career coaches, and et cetera down the line. At any point, we have enough space for you to come in to our building, and you can kind of see a little bit behind me here. Even though you are an online student, you are welcome to anything that we do at Tepper, as long as you can make it there. Leading into, we'll say, like, we've also intentionally chosen to have our students come together as many times as possible. So right now, in-person weekends, there are 9. And there's still 16 weekends that you have to be together with your classmates as you go through the program. So what makes us different is that when someone leaves, they will really know their entire class exceptionally well. So it's not the largest network, but probably one of the more engaged. And then consistently, you will take some classes with students in the other MBA formats because we give our other students that flexibility if they need that to take those online courses. So you will interact with our residential MBA students as well. In terms of what you can concentrate in, so we have 13 different areas. I'm not going to name them all; they're on our website, but I'll throw out a couple that I'll call either our larger ones or more fun. So business technologies, finance, healthcare analytics, marketing, sustainability, strategy. So really kind of picking out some of those things that you would want to pair together. Typically, our online students can do a few of those within that curriculum. If you're very passionate about certain areas, you can choose to do one of our tracks, and there's a few available for our online students, business analytics, entrepreneurship. So you can really dive into those and take almost all of your coursework in a certain area, as well as have additional faculty support for the things that you want to do. But for us, again, we've chosen just very intentionally to create the best experience we can possibly make for those about 120 students a year.
Great. And let's go to Julia.
Thank you. I think I've sort of touched on some of the things that I think are our program differentiators, but I think for us, it's really just that ability to network. And sort of, again, learn from the best with the best is our new tagline. But we're really proud of our immersive experiences that we have and just sort of the quality of those. And they're also all planned, by our own faculty and staff here in the Kelley School of Business. Particularly our global and domestic immersions, I think, are really unique and special opportunities for our students to really engage and connect with one another. We are also really fortunate to have recently gotten a large gift to create the Jellison Studios, which is an opportunity to enhance sort of our innovation in doing both synchronous and asynchronous content for our students in their classes. So it's the same sort of technology. They tell me that is used for shows like The Mandalorian, right? So these really cool virtual reality environments, and we're just hoping to just do as much as we can to be the leader in online education. And so that's really cool. We really do have a robust career services network here. So they have all of our students have a dedicated career coach in graduate career services and are receiving great support to achieve whatever their individualized career goals are, knowing that online students are already working full time. So if they may be looking to do a career switch, they may be looking to advance in their current company, or they may be just looking for knowledge because they were already doing a leadership role and maybe they don't really know what they're doing. And so they're hoping for that more formal business education. And then really one thing that we're really proud of too is just our student life here in the Kelley School. We have a really robust Student Leadership Association, and they have sub-associations both for industries like healthcare, but then also supporting women in business. They recently started a Pride Association, which they're really excited about. And we're working on lots of different DEI initiatives with our students, including a new DEI course that we're excited to launch this fall. And so we think that we're doing a lot of really cool things to really create that network. And I think if you ask our students, they'll tell you that that's one thing that they love about Kelley Direct, as well. It is an online MBA. They really do feel like they're making a lot of great connections and have really powerful stories about how they're applying what they've learned in class in real time to sort of achieve that career momentum that they were looking for. Oh, and sorry, I should say majors. I forgot that part. We do have 7 different majors that folks can pick from that can help round out the elective offerings, ranging from business analytics to finance to strategy and leadership. Again, they're on our website, and you can kind of see the different courses that might be in there as well.
Thanks, Julia. And let's hear from Marcus.
Yeah, so in our MBA program, we offer 5 concentrations: digital marketing, entrepreneurship, and strategic innovation, global challenges in business, business analytics, and mergers and acquisitions. Mergers and acquisitions specialization, that's kind of our newest concentration. So it really focuses heavily on like the theory and practice of mergers and acquisitions, based on business and industry trends. So we're constantly looking to add like new courses that are innovative, support like the biggest trends that are out there. We do have courses focused on communication with data, utilizing the programming language R, Power BI. We're actually going to be offering a new course, it's a disruption course. So basically, this course is an introduction into cutting edge technology such as blockchain, AI, chat GPT. So we're constantly thinking of courses to add. We actually have an associate dean who's a chief disruption officer for Gies programs, and so he's always looking to enhance our technology, right? Stand on the cutting edge of technology. Similar to my colleague at Kelley, we're actually received a donation as well to open up a new physical building next to our existing building. So that's going to allow for more studio space, more enhanced technology to make the learning engagement as engaging, as learning environment as engaging as possible. So those are some of our kind of unique courses. I would say, our courses we try to make them relevant to our careers. And I touched on this a little bit earlier about the return on investment. Again, our majority of our learners are professionals. And so they bring just a myriad of experiences from various sectors, various backgrounds. We have a global community representing over 100 countries. So you may wake up in Champaign and you may work with a project from someone in Dubai or someone in Ghana. So it kind of creates that inclusive environment where you're able to connect with other learners and just learn from other learners, right? So to add to that rich, vibrant environment. And I'll say the engagement piece, I feel is a big part of our program as well. Networking is huge for our students. We have a very engaged student population. And every year in September, we have our annual kind of professional development conference on campus. And so it's not required of our students. However, it's optional. And so this past year in 2022, we had over 500 students come to campus, converge. It's called converge to campus, and get a chance to meet each other in person, meet faculty, staff, or what have you. We had representatives from 38 states and 17 countries come to campus. And so there was a great opportunity to connect with others. We have meetups, and these are led by our students. Our students create these meetups throughout the U.S. As well as globally. And so this is just a way that our students can stay connected and create community within our program. But we also have immersive experiences, both in person and virtual immersive experiences domestically and globally as well. And we just had a group, actually I was down in Houston with a group that visited ExxonMobil, the aerospace industry, did some case competitions, got a chance to network with those professionals at those corporations. And then we have an upcoming upcoming in-person immersion event in Brazil here shortly. So, and then lastly, I feel like a big differentiator for us is our price. Being under $24,000 for the entire MBA program, and what we offer. And we offer student academic support services as well. We have academic advisors where students can meet one-on-one or in group settings. So we offer a range of services for our students, and it's hard to beat that at the price that we do offer our program.
Will you be going to Brazil, Marcus?
No, I wish, but I'm putting my I'm putting my ask in right now for any future international immersive experiences. So.
Okay, let's see here. If I were to ask alumni about why they chose your program, what do you think they would say? And let's hear from Julia.
Sure. I think our alumni would talk about sort of the quality and reputation as something that draw them in to kind of explore the Kelley School of Business. We've got great name recognition in most companies. There's a Kelley alum, whether that's from an undergrad or a full-time program or even Kelley Direct. And I think then once they sort of start learning a little bit more about the program, what they're really seeing is that our curriculum is really providing them that concrete knowledge that they need to support their career goals. And that's ultimately why I think people are coming into the program, because we've got such great stories about students learning and applying that and getting that promotion, getting that career momentum, making that career switch while they're in the program. In addition to that, networking and that flexibility in terms of, unlike a full-time program, online students are going to have a lot of variety in terms of their career goals. And so we're really working with them, both with their academic advisor and their career coach, to try to tailor that. So their academic advisor is going to help them think about maybe what their major is, what electives they're going to take. And then their career coach is going to help them think about, okay, now that I have this knowledge, how can I apply that, right? To gain that career momentum that I need. And additionally, I think people are really excited about our opportunities to travel on our global and domestic immersions. And that's something also that folks draw in. And folks really want that immersive experience, but they know that they still need that online program. And so the number of touch points that our students can have with each other and with our network is exciting for folks and draws them into Kelley.
And let's hear about Tepper's alumni.
Awesome. So I think it'd be two things. The first are our access weekends. And traditionally we have had people come in either to campus or to other cities 16 times throughout the program. And it's been that connection that they've had with people that has really, in their words, kind of have made that difference of just making it that really impactful experience in their life and career and development. We have changed that recently based on alumni feedback as well as current student feedback, because everyone said flexibility has really risen up in everyone's kind of value set of making sure that you can kind of have that in your life to be able to do what you need to do. So that's why we've taken that down to about half, to not always be in person, but how do we create some impactful opportunities that you can still do remotely, but still spend that time with those people within your cohort and the overall MBA program. So they really talk about that. The other thing, and this was what's interesting for me, because I'll say it's a data point from Poets and Quants, but it's something that I've explored more because it was a surprise to me when I read it a few months ago, that our online MBA students change companies more than any other program percentage-wise. So they're finding those opportunities to develop and then kind of branch off in their career into those new opportunities. So whenever, I started to kind of chat with alumni about that, sometimes it's a classmate, sometimes it's that career coach, but they're really finding that opportunity through the network. And I think it's because for them in particular, they felt like the people that they knew within the network knew them really well. So they were putting them up for some things. And I think it just, kind of goes back to the community that we try to create. So I think that's what I've heard most recently from alums.
Thank you, JR. And Marcus.
Oh, there's several things. Come to mind is immediate return on investment. I kind of touched on earlier. About 61% of our students receive a promotion. I reported they received a promotion while being in our program. I think a lot of it had to do with networking within our program. Again, a lot of our learners, our professionals work for various companies. We have over 1,000 companies represented within our IMBA program. So being able to connect with someone who's an HR leader of HR or someone that's a vice president of a certain department, right? They have that opportunity to do so. Number two is networking comes up a lot. I think a lot of people were surprised with the large volume of learners we have in our program. It does provide opportunity to network. So that was one thing they really enjoyed. And then I think number three, it kind of ties into our mission of being accessible, is opportunity. And I love working at a school where we can be inclusive and provide opportunity for some learners who otherwise would not have been able to afford to earn the MBA at a high quality program that we do offer. So that resonates a lot with our learners as well. So those are I'd say the top three out of all.
Thanks, Marcus. And I'm noticing the time here, so I want to get one question in about the future of your programs. So over the next 3 to 5 years, how do you think the online MBA and specifically your program will evolve? JR.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So, for us, and I just talked about essentially the evolution of what we are doing with our access weekends, but I know every program does this often, right? Like you're going to kind of continue to reassess and you're going to try to iterate. I think we are in our process of relooking at everything and just ensuring that we are moving things forward. When I think about the next 3 to 5 years, I guess I think about more of the conversations, right, with like the dean of the college or the president of the university. Carnegie Mellon as a whole believes in interdisciplinary learning. And what that means for us is that we believe that the world's largest problems are going to be solved by the interactions of not just business professionals, but engineers and computer scientists, like policymakers, et cetera. So continuing to evolve to make sure that we're creating, whether it's coursework, interactions with other students in other colleges, and how do we bring that more to our online communities? Because we do that really easily and well with our residential students, but how are we going to be able to do that with our online students when we talk about some of their highest values, our flexibility, and not always being able to maybe do some of those extra things on time. So really examining how do we bring those opportunities to them a little bit more rather than them happening slightly more organically. And in particular, a few different areas that I don't think we have specializations in, but I hear more and more, obviously, from overall CMU, but just industry, AI, cybersecurity, like all these things that actually those two things are kind of in a way going to grow together. The stronger we get within AI, the more we'll say that there's going to be probably fraud and deep fake and all those other things. So how do we ensure that we're not only looking at our own kind of area in college, but how do we make sure those experiences outside our college are available to these students as well?
Certainly. And let's hear about the future of Illinois. Marcus.
Yes. So, like I mentioned earlier, technology is going to be the big piece for us. We're always thinking of ways to engage our learners the best way possible. But we're also going to look to expand our immersive opportunities for our students. Again, just trying to connect with our mission of being accessible. And so we found out through the pandemic that we had to pivot to virtual immersive opportunities. And so we're going to continue to increase those opportunities and here in the future as well. We're also looking to expand like our course offerings in the next couple of years. Just trying to be in tune with our current learners and see what's out there and what's available, what we need to produce in terms of reaching the learner, the needs of the learner. Stacking coursework. I know this isn't necessarily like part of our IMBA program, but we've been kind of ahead of the curve of offering stackability options for students. So some students may want to go directly into our IMBA program. Others may want to start with one class and they can stack that into a certificate, and that certificate can stack into our program. So they're not losing time, they're not losing money. And so that's a big piece of art, and just encourage, including to increase the stackability of our coursework.
And last but not least, Kelley.
Yeah, I think my colleagues offered great insight into the future. I think for us, one of the things that is on the rise, I think, is that online education is sort of the future of education. And so, probably more gray or overlap between a full-time MBA program and an online MBA, and just different pathways also for students to maybe move from a full-time to an online, maybe in their second year after they get that return offer from their internship, thinking about how we might collaborate more to offer across those programs. Knowing that, people want flexibility, also defining what does flexibility actually mean for folks. Sometimes that means flexibility in time frame to completion, but often for our students, they really just mean flexibility in being able to do their MBA from wherever they are in the world. And so thinking about, we really love our required residencies, but how do we still offer that? And how can we make that as flexible as also possible for students, also making sure that networking exists. recognizing the population that's choosing to pursue their MBA, and folks are doing big things, having families, having jobs, folks in the military, and so they can't always do those experiences. And so learning from COVID a little bit about what we can do virtually, what we can do in person, and what's required and what's not required for our students is really important to us, I think, and to make everything as accessible as we can. We're really thinking about how we infuse diversity, equity, and inclusion into everything we do. Working right now actually on a strategic plan for our unit here in Kelley Direct in terms of our curriculum, our student experience, our own staff professional development, and how we make sure that DEI is a priority for supporting and retaining students across a variety of identities. I think that's something that we're really going to focus on for the future. And then just thinking about how industries have changed. I think we were previously seeing a lot of folks in engineering and tech coming back for our program to pursue their MBA. We're getting, more people in healthcare has been a big interest lately. And so kind of continuing to evolve and change, which is sometimes hard with curriculum and how course curriculum approvals go. So how we can be innovative in terms of some of our immersion experience. We're offering a specific healthcare immersion course in Seattle, I think in the fall. And so how we can continue to be responsive, knowing some of the limitations that exist with academia, but trying to continue to be innovative and being flexible as we kind of see who our students are and who comes in, even with the economy too. I think that's changing. Who wants to quit their job and go back to school full time versus who wants to keep their salary and do an online MBA. And so being responsive to perhaps that our student profile will also continue to change. And it's certainly a wide range for us, folks as little as 1 year with folks as much as like 30 or 40 years of work experience. And how do we create an experience that meets needs of all of those different learners?
Yeah, Julia, and as kind of a concluding thought, could you please share how students could get in touch with you or your team if they're interested in your program?
Sure. Well, we've got a variety of ways. They can just email us at kdirect@indiana.edu. But if they go to our website, they can see that we also have the option to schedule a call with one of our admissions team members, Alicia. And she also runs bi-weekly information sessions with us, or they can just pick up the phone and call us if they have a quick question. We also offer webinars about monthly that folks can see. So our website has a variety of ways. You can email me directly. I'm happy to chat with folks too. So we have a lot of good content on our website too of stories of our students that I was sharing in terms of their return on investment of the program that we'd love for folks to find and listen to.
Thanks, Julia. And how might students get in touch with CMU Tepper?
Perfect. So I just changed the name on my Zoom screen there to our email address. I was trying to figure out how to easily do that. So there was a visual. So that is our general inbox that goes out to, we always have an admissions officer on call. So if you want to get some more information quickly, I always say go to the general, because there's always going to be someone kind of waiting for you to answer your questions. However, you can go to our website. Every staff member is listed with their email address. We want to talk to you, so please feel free to reach out, and we hope to hear from you.
Thanks, JR. And Marcus at Illinois.
Yes, I'm going to actually provide my email address in the chat if that's okay. And then again, just like my colleagues, they can go to the website and just give us a call. We have a team of admission counselors that are ready to answer questions and set you through the process. But if you wanted to connect with me directly, here's my email address. You can connect with me if you have any direct questions for me.
Thanks, Marcus. Well, a big thank you to our guests for joining today and sharing tons of great information. Thank you to the viewers for all their interest.